Joining me now with more on all of this is Justin Richmond. He's a fellow with the Truman National Security Project. And Justin, thank you so much for coming in. What do you make of these latest moves on the part of the DPRK?
Well, I think everybody's hoping it's just the latest round of saber rattling by the North. What's unfortunate right now is that the rhetoric has gone beyond past norms, and that's what's scaring everyone.
Earlier this evening, we spoke to somebody who's kind of an expert on the DPRK, if anybody really is, because it's such a secretive environment. But he said, you know, it might be a good idea to kind of step back and take a look at what's going on internally. That Kim Jong-un is probably trying to position himself, doing all of this, kind of indicating to the people in North Korea that the U.S. is ready to attack, and then they're going to back down, and then he looks like this guy who stood up to the U.S. That's sort of the persona he's trying to deliver there. Do you buy that?
I think that's a reasonable assessment. It certainly fits with the fact that he's only been in power about 14, 15 months, and he's certainly trying to consolidate power. The problem is that these provocations follow on successful nuclear test and successful missile test, which is what really has everybody in the U.S. up in arms. Plus, he's going a step further in saying that that they would attack the United States homeland, which is obviously, I mean, it's something they don't have the technology to do, but it really makes the United States bristle.
Is there any action that can kind of make them ratchet it down? I mean, with Ban Ki-moon's come out, Russia's had strong statements, China's had pretty strong statements. It seems like everybody in the world saying, hey, knock it off, but it doesn't seem to be having much of an impact.
I think it all boils down to what the incentives of the regime are. And quite frankly, I think the player with the most power right now is China. Even though in the past 6 months to a year, I don't think the relationship between Pyongyang and Beijing is as strong as it used to be. I think China is going to be the major player in de-escalating this crisis.
Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel was questioned, obviously, about this quite a bit yesterday. And one of the comments he made, which I think kind of just went flying by, was he said that, you know, we've been in contact with China. We're hearing all this stuff out here, but undoubtedly there's back channel conversations going on. What do you see there, and how effective is that going to be?
It depends, because China has been North Korea's patron for many years. Without China's support, the North Korean regime could have never made it to the point that it has. However, North Korea has gone a step beyond being a good satellite state, and is now pretty much becoming a thorn in the side of the Chinese. And I think as soon as they wear out their welcome, the Chinese are going to do the logical thing and band with the international community to de-escalate this.
The U.S. strategy has been called strategic patience. Is it paying off? Do you think it's been effective?
Partially effective. There hasn't been a war. There hasn't been another true blow-up since the armistice was signed in 1953. So that's good. What's bad is that the North Korean regime has gone forward with their missile technology and with their nuclear technology, and that's not good. And quite frankly, I think the very first thing that the United States needs to do is open up negotiations. I mean, I don't think we harm ourselves by speaking with other nations. I don't think that's a bad strategy.
Diplomacy, obviously, the best route to go.
The only route right now.
Right.
So,
Justin Richmond, thank you so much for coming in.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.